And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my review for WWE SummerSlam 2015, an event that I was in attendance at. Boy, was this a great weekend trip, and what a better way to end the summer than by being in attendance for the quote-unquote second biggest pay-per-view event of the year, SummerSlam. Was SummerSlam able to surpass NXT? Well, we're going to find out. So, these are my thoughts and opinions on SummerSlam. From August 23rd, 2015, live from the Barclays Center. So, we kick off SummerSlam with the host of the event, Jon Stewart, making his way to the ring. He gets a pretty nice pop, and then wouldn't you know it, who comes out? Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Mick Foley, the hardcore legend. And Mick comes out, they cut a nice little back and forth promo, and the funny thing is, Stewart wanted to interview Brock, and then Foley's like, I'm afraid of Brock, and Stewart's like, wait a minute, you're the hardcore legend, and you're afraid of Brock Lesnar? And then Foley's like, I thought we were here he was to interview The Rock, not Brock, and that actually got a nice Rocky chant. So that was a fun way to kick off the show. I liked it. And then we had the intro video play, the fireworks, and then we go to our first contest of the evening. We have Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Seen it a million times. If you've seen one Orton Sheamus match, you've seen them all. Like I said, the crowd, we weren't really into it. I was surprised they would start with this match. I would have rather seen maybe Rusev Ziggler start with the tag match, or Owens and Cesaro, but Orton, the one nice part was when Orton looked like he was going to hit him with the punt, we were like, punt, 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 punt. Sheamus eventually is able to avoid being hit by it, hits the white noise, and then he actually hits Orton with two bro kicks and gets the win. So yeah, it was a typical Sheamus Orton match. So moving on. Actually, a match that I did enjoy that occurred next was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match. We had the Primetime Players versus the Lucha Dragons versus Los Matadores versus New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks. The New Day. The New Day was very over in Brooklyn. I was surprised. It caught me off guard. I started clapping along. I started saying New Day Rocks. Then they started to sing. Oh my God, was that so funny. It was just great. They were like, New York. Da, 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 da. It was just so great. This match was a good match. It started out a little slow. There were a couple botches between the Lucha Dragons and the Los Matadors. They were able to nicely recover. Like I said, but eventually the match started, picking up, and the crowd was definitely getting into it. I always like when the New Day does their stomping, tag in, stomps the guy, another person tags in, and then the match really just goes crazy. Once Titus O'Neil gets tagged in, he just starts taking out everyone. He takes out the Los Matadors, the Lucha Dragons, the New Day. Anyone and everyone in his path, Titus O'Neil took out. And I like Titus. I like him a lot. That was good to see. And then Woods is able to take out El Torito, but then Darren Young takes him out. The nice spot was when Big E hit the spear on Young, and man, they just went flying out the ringside, and it was just crazy. And then, the one nice thing was this Tower of Doom move. It was Fernando, Titus, Diego, and both of the Lucha Dragons. They're up in the corner, and they just hit this move, and it is sick. But then Kofi ends up making a blind tag. It's not really, noticeable, but he makes the tag, and then he ends up pinning Diego, and the New Day are your new tag team champions. I like it. They're the hottest tag team going right now. Those we'll see later in my Raw review. The tag team division has gotten a jolt. So this was a good match. I really enjoyed it. We had a nice little promo backstage of Stewart talking with Mel and Neville, and then the Undertaker walks by, and you get goosebumps because we're all ready to see that match, Taker versus Lesnar. We had our next match of the evening. We had the show-off, Dolph Ziggler with Lana in his corner, taking on Rusev with Summer Rae in his corner. I liked this match. I thought these guys worked really hard. Crowd was not as into it as I thought they were going to be. Tried to start some Ziggler chants. Wasn't really getting it going. I love Dolph Ziggler. He really works his ass off, to please the crowd. But eventually, towards the end of the match, the crowd finally starts to get into it. There's a couple nice spots where, especially when Ziggler hits the Famouser, that was a nice spot. And then Rusev logs Ziggler into the Accolade. Summer tries to take Lana out, but Lana bitch slaps her. And then, and this is the part I did not like. Rusev lets Ziggler out of the hold, and Ziggler rolls out of the ring, to rest up and recover. And then Summer takes out Lana, and then Ziggler eventually, Rusev's on the outside. And Ziggler hits a super kick and then rolls into the ring just as the ref counts to 10, so it is a double count out. I did not like this ending. I thought somebody should have went over. It's your biggest show, second biggest show of the year. Why not? But it was an okay match. I thought it would have been a little better. For what it was okay. Then we had a match that I was really impressed with. Stardust and King Barrett versus Neville and Stephen Amell. It was great. Stardust had this nice, outfit when he came out. And Amell, had his own little outfit paying homage to his character Green Arrow, excuse me. So the match kicks off with Neville and B&B. And eventually Stardust gets tagged, and he's like, I want Amell. And then Amell actually gets into the match, and he actually does more than I thought he was going to do. Amell really went above and beyond. He's able to kick him in the gut, Stardust. Amell is actually able to flip out of a side suplex, and he actually hip tosses Stardust, excuse me. Amell hits a leapfrog on Barrett, but then Barrett, who's tagged into the match at this point, once again puts him in the corner, tags back in Stardust, and then Amell's getting his ass handed to him pretty well, and then Amell actually hits an enziguri, which again, wow, you could tell he was really ready for this match. And then we have Neville and B&B going back and forth. And then Amell gets on the top rope, and he dives onto Barrett and Stardust. And then he puts Barrett back into the ring, and Neville hits the red arrow for the win. So you know what? A fun celebrity tag match. I enjoyed it. I really did. Then we had the Big Show versus Ryback versus The Miz for the IC title. It was short. It was 5 minutes roughly. The right guy won. I'm happy Ryback won. And hopefully he moves on to bigger and better things. So that's all I really have to say about the IC title match. Didn't really care. Then we had a nice little backstage promo between Paul Heyman and Jon Stewart. I really liked this promo. You know, both guys, Stewart wanted to interview Lesnar, but Heyman, of course, he's not going to let that happen. So that was fun. And then our next match of the evening was another tag team match. We had Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt. This was a fun match, but again, I was expecting a heel turn. And we didn't get it. But Ambrose was really over. Reigns really got booed out of the building. I was surprised. I didn't boo him, but I was like, really? Okay, they're booing Reigns. I was like, man, guess it's the it thing to do, the cool thing to do. But Reigns is actually taken out for a long portion of this match, and the crowd eventually chants Reigns is sleeping. Ambrose is trying to make his comeback on his own against the Wyatts. Eventually, Reigns gets back up. Starts hitting his moves on Harper. Then he hits a double Superman punch on Harper and Wyatt. And then him and Ambrose are able to hit a Doomsday device on two count on Wyatt, but Harper is able to get in and break that up. Wyatt tries to go for the Sister Abigail. Ambrose counters with Dirty Deeds, and Reigns hits him with the spear. But I thought it was a good effort. All four guys tried, and I actually enjoyed the match. Even though we got the same match the next night on Raw, I liked where that went, so I was okay. Yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. And then we had our first of the double main events tonight. We had John Cena taking on Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and United States Championship in a winner-takes-all match. This was amazing. This was great. This was close to match of the night for me. It was just a great match. Probably the best match between Cena and Rollins that I have seen. I can't really think of another match that came close to topping this. And both guys, worked their asses off. And Rollins was clearly the face here. Clearly. And Cena was clearly the heel. So that was great too. A lot of back and forth. A lot of great spots. Every time Cena went for that AA, I freaked out. I'm like, damn, he's going to do it. And then, oh my God. And then Rollins actually picked Cena up and tried to hit a super AA. And then, Cena tries to hit a super AA on Rollins. Rollins is eventually able to counter out and hits the powerbomb on Cena. And then he hits a big frog splash 2 count. I mean, it was just near fall after near fall after near fall. I'm like, who the hell is going to win this match? I wanted Rollins. Did not want Cena to break Ric Flair's 16-time championship record. And then, like I said, Rollins was able to eventually pick Cena up for an AA near fall. And that was damn impressive. And then, Cena locks in the STFU. Rollins is able to Actually, this was a great spot. When Cena puts Rollins into the figure 4, however, we're like, he's got to get out of it. How does he get out of it? He turns and reverses the pressure. And then Cena, it's just like, hits another AA. The ref gets knocked down. And then Rollins hits Cena again in the nose. And then here comes Jon Stewart. We're like, what the hell's going on here? And then Stewart comes down with a steel chair. And we're like, what's he going to do? And then he eventually hits Cena with the steel chair. And then Rollins is able to pedigree Cena onto the chair. And the ref counts the 3. And your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion and U.S. Champion is Seth Rollins. Great match. I liked the ending. I didn't see it coming. And we popped for it pretty good in the Barclays Center. So that was great. After this, we had the 3-way elimination women's triple threat match. We had Team PCB versus Team Vela versus Team Bad. It was an okay match. I mean, we were pretty, spent from after that Cena Rollins match. So the women were really in a tough spot to work with. I was surprised that, Tamina, was pinned by Bray after getting her head slammed into the mat. And Team Bad was eliminated first. Then eventually it was just Team Vela versus Team PCB. And, it was really Becky taking a lot of the punishment for a while, and the Bellas really dominated control. Brie goes for the kick, the roundhouse kicks, and the crowd goes yes. And then Charlotte finally gets tagged in. She gets the hot tag, and then she just starts clearing house. She locks Fox in the figure 8, but Nikki eventually is able to break it up. Paige is eventually able to take out Nikki, and both Fox and Charlotte hit big boots to each other's faces, and then Becky is eventually able to get the tag in, as well as Brie, who was tagged in for her team. Lynch is able to capitalize on Brie missing the missile dropkick, and she hits a pump handle suplex for the win. So it was an okay match. I thought it would have been much better, but it was what it was. And then we have our second to last match. We have the King of Swing, Cesaro, versus Kevin Owens. And this was a really good match. I enjoyed this match a lot. These guys, you could tell they were ready to fight. And what we got was a nice, a pretty good wrestling match. Cesaro, so strong, so powerful, and Owens, just what a badass. What a dominant badass. And he's so athletic, and man, every move these guys hit, it was just like back and forth, And I'm glad they gave them, enough time, to work and put on a good match, And it was just like, man. So Owens eventually hits a super kick out of nowhere, and then Cesaro, Owens tries to set Cesaro up, pop a powerbomb. However, Cesaro is able to counter and hit him with the springboard uppercut, so that was one of the near falls in the match. And then Cesaro is able to lock Owens in to the swing, and then Cesaro locks Owens into the sharpshooter, but Owens is able to make it and break the hold when he makes it to the ropes. And then Cesaro is able to go back up to the top rope. Owens is able to eventually pull him down across the top rope, and Owens hits a big spinning slam and then finishes off Cesaro with the pop-up powerbomb for the win. Great match. Go back and watch it. These two guys, you know, they were given enough time. They put on a good match. Like I said, Owens, right guy, got the win. So I was glad to see that. So that was that. And then it is main event time. It is Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, versus The Undertaker in a rematch from WrestleMania 30. Wow, what can I say? What a great match. What a great match. Incredible. It was an honor to be there to see Taker wrestle, because this will probably be the last time that I'll ever see him wrestle. So that was great to see. And even before Taker, you know, he does his entrance and he was about to take off the hat. And then Lesnar just starts attacking him. And man, did we have a fight. The crowd was into it. Undertaker, Suplex City. Undertaker, Suplex City. Dueling chants. The place was humming. It was crazy. Taker looked great. You know, he looked like the Undertaker of old. You know, eventually Lesnar is hitting him with these suplexes. And I'm like, damn. How much is Undertaker going to be able to take? Damn. You know, and it's just like back and forth, back and forth. They're trading bombs, punches, more, you know, suplexes. We're counting along. Lesnar hits Taker onto the announce table with an F5, and it's just like, holy shit, you know. And then Lesnar's like, I'm going to have to kill you. And Taker's like, yeah, you're going to have to, pretty much. But Taker actually hits Lesnar with this sick-looking chokeslam. I mean, he really got Lesnar up high with it. And, but Lesnar kicks out, and then Taker hits the tombstone. But, freaking Lesnar is able to kick out, and then this was a great spot in this match. I really enjoyed this spot. So Lesnar sat up, and he's laughing, and then Taker sits back up. He's like laughing right back at Lesnar. He's like, yeah, come on, you want to go, bitch? You want to go, bitch? And it's just like, and then Lesnar eventually locks in the Kimura, but Taker's eventually able to power him up and hit the last ride on Lesnar. And then Lesnar hits another F5, but Taker kicks out after 2. And then he hits a third F5, and Taker's still able to kick out. And then Taker is able to sucker Lesnar in, lock in the Hell's Gate. But Lesnar is able to counter out of that into the Kimura. And then Undertaker taps, and the bell rings, but the referee didn't see it. And Lesnar and Heyman are celebrating. And then, while the ref's back is turned, Taker hits Lesnar with a low blow, and then puts him into the Hell's Gate. And then Brock flips off Taker within the hold. I mean, the match is continuing to go. And then Brock Lesnar passes out to the Undertaker. And the winner of the match is the Undertaker. But technically, Taker tapped. The ref didn't see it. But according to the ref, since he didn't see it, it's not going to count. So it was a very confusing ending. And I'm sure this will lead to a third match between Taker and Lesnar. And I will be looking forward to that. I know a lot of people didn't like this ending. I did. And yeah, it was a great match. And I'm curious to see where they go with this in the future. So yeah, those are my thoughts on SummerSlam. Overall, it was not as good as NXT. Not as good. But I'm going to give this show a C+. It was average. I was expecting more. But for what it was, I was glad to be in attendance. And it was great to see Taker and Lesnar and Cena and Rollins. 2 amazing matches that I'll never forget anytime soon. So thank you for watching this video. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you like what you see. And be on the lookout for my next video. I will be uploading my Raw review later today after I get home from college. So with that, I'm out, and peace.